Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Everybody hears this but me. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show, Warmongers. Hello, I'm JJW, JJ Warmonger, and that's Peace Deek. That's Peace Deek over there. We meet every Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, to drink coffee, talk about the news, politics, stuff like that. We're your two dads. I'm doing a terrible job on the intro right now.
You do fine, sir. I'm
giving me an F.
Look, as someone who has done this for 30 years, you do a perfectly fine job. I think you do great, buddy.
Oh, that's sweet.
You need to give yourself a little more credit. Do you have a robe on this morning, Rand Paul?
No. I almost did that yesterday. And then I realized I got tricked by AI, and I was like, oh.
AI tricky.
Good morning.
AI might trick you before the end of the show. I've got a story for you.
We got some AI stories. We got some international news stories. We got some domestic news stories. We got some people dead. Did people die? So there's some people dead stories, right?
Yeah. Hey,
somebody had a GPS accident.
Yeah, you got to hold up. I got to talk here for a minute. So entertain.
He's got to talk. So good morning, everybody. Let me entertain myself. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. We are going to talk about a bunch of stuff. And by the end of the show, you're going to hear a joke that is so great. You're going to be really, really evaluating whether it was worth your time to watch the entire show to get to the joke at the end. So here's what we do normally. Normally, we start with the theme music, and we do the hello, hello, and then Deacon tells us something about culture and music that I didn't know, and then we'll talk news, and we'll talk politics, or we'll talk werewolves or trans people. There could be trans people in the deck. I don't even really know.
And I see Halloween stuff all the time in the stores. So
can't wait for wereperson stories. Those are great.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us something about music.
Okay, so this past week, me and my family are music people. We're concert junkies. We went to Louder Than Life Thursday night in Louisville. It is a 4-day rock festival. So we heard, that next night, Friday night, I don't know if I told you this, Fred Durst. Do you remember Limp Bizkit, Fred Durst?
Yeah.
Okay, so Fred Durst, feeling those lightest. I hate Fred Durst. He's such a douche. So I'm not the only one. At the Louder Than Life concert Friday, he got mad and had them shut off the cameras. So the big, huge screens that everyone in the back could see the actual concert, he had them shut off. Nobody could actually see the people on the stage unless you were right there in the front. You know, you didn't have because it was a flat surface, it wasn't a concert arena or whatnot. So it was really hard to see the stage if you didn't have those big. So he was just a douche and shut them off. It pissed off everybody so much that they left the Limp Bizkit show to go across and watch this other band play. So yeah, he's terrible. So the Louder Than Life show, we went Thursday night. I'm featuring songs from artists that we saw that headlined on Thursday, and songs that you may have never heard from these artists before. Today is 311. I'm sure we've all heard 311.
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell you this funny 311 story.
All right. Okay.
So me and Alex are standing there very close to the 311 stage. We're like 4 people from the front row. And there's a guy and this girl standing next to me, young guy and young girl. And he says, I hear him say to her, I always try to introduce myself to the people that I'm around or talk to the people that I'm sitting next to in the concert to be nice, because I've met some really unique people. And I heard him say to her something about 311 and seeing them like 2 or 3 years ago. So I leaned over and I said, the last time I saw 311 was in 1997, and the band that opened up for them was an unknown ska band called No Doubt. And he goes, he looked at me, he said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, it was in Nashville. Nobody had ever heard of No Doubt before. And they came out on stage, and like months later, they got famous, and we saw them before they got famous." And he goes, "I was born in 1998.
Yeah.
So 311's our song today.
Man,
This come
they
off
gotta-
their very first album called Music. They really didn't get 311 really didn't get famous until their third album, which is a blue album, and it's called 311, 311, 311. Their first two albums, Music and Grassroots, are very awesome. Plain is from Music. Music is came out in the 90s, the middle 90s, the early 90s, really. This is like 93, 94, where
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were listening to this in high school. When I was a sophomore and a junior, I think it was a junior, we were listening to this album. And this was the rock rap mixture that we did not have at the time. You've had this for 30 years now, but we did not have this when this came out at the time. That's why we were just, what is this? This is awesome. I love this.
It's definitely got a lot of energy and aggression. A little metal in it, yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So I've always loved 311. This is a great album. So maybe you've never heard Plain. Listen to it. Go to
they
our
got
Discord
completely
server.
showed up by No Doubt, though. I mean, like No Doubt became like
No Doubt
like
sold
eclipsed
out.
him.
If you go and listen to the I'm serious. No, I
You're
would
probably
too.
right.
No, that is
Why
the
wouldn't
truth.
you? That's the job.
Truth. That's everyone has. Tool wrote a song about selling out. But that's what they did. If you go and listen to No Doubt's first album, it's called the Beacon Street Collection. No Doubt's first album isn't Tragic Kingdom. That is not their first album. I bought the Beacon Street Collection at that concert because I was like, this band rocks. No Doubt was a Southern California ska band that hung around. They were really good friends with Sublime. On Sublime's album, you can hear Gwen Stefani singing on that, and I think he sings.
Oh, really? She was on that?
I think, yeah, she's back up singing on that. And then you can hear what's his name from Sublime singing on some stuff from the Beacon Street Collection from No Doubt. So if you want to hear some early ska punk, Gwen Stefani, she had knots, her hair come out knot, and she was a little punk 20-year-old punk girl back then. Listen to the Beacon Street Collection. It's a ska punky. It's really awesome. That's stuff.
Cool.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, we definitely got some punks in America, and they're warmongers. This asshole's loaned $2 billion. $2 billion. And by the way, unfortunately, you're part of the asshole group. All of you. If you're watching this and you're an American, you're part of the asshole group. Warmonger assholes have loaned $2 billion to Poland in order to modernize their military. Well, why should they modernize their military?
How many does it take to modernize their military?
I don't know. Poland is just a staging ground for NATO. And the United States and NATO are moving tanks and planes and guns and shit into Poland. And then it goes, Poland is taking it into Ukraine. So this is all just proxy war shit. And we are loaning them money for them to buy guns from us. This is just bad stuff, dude. Washington, the Biden administration announced Monday that it is offering a $2 billion loan to Poland, which has been a hub for weapons going into Ukraine. The State Department said in a statement that Poland is a stalwart ally of the United States, whose security is vital to the collective defense of NATO's eastern flank. Do you know who's not an ally of the United States of America? Ukraine. Ukraine is not an ally. Why are we doing this? The only reason we're doing this is to try to kick Russia in the nuts for no reason. I'm against this, by the way. Poland has been a staunch supporter of Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion of the country, handing over large numbers of its own tanks, fighter jets, and other equipment. It has been a hub for most of the Western weapons going into Ukraine. It's been an undergoing a process of modernization to replace what it gave away, most of which is based on old Soviet technology, and putting in orders with the U.S. and South Korean defense companies. Oh, so here's how it goes. Hey, Poland, yeah, we hear your neighbors are having trouble. Why don't you just give them all your old shit and then we'll loan you money and you can buy some new shit from us. Doesn't that sound like a great deal? We're never going to get out of war, dude.
This is laundering 101. This is actually
no shit.
No, I'm in that. It's not laundering 101. This is like laundering 301.
Yeah. This is advanced money laundering.
This is advanced laundering. We're not basic laundering anymore. This is like 4 years in.
We lost people already. People were watching and they were like, You're not for Ukraine. Not for Ukraine. I'm not for Russia. I'm for me in Texas.
Quit worrying about that number and keep talking. It's a phone call between us, please.
Yeah, it's just a phone call. Deke, how much have you ever just kind of kept yourself up at night wondering how many kind of guns that you could sell to people in Europe for them to kill each other?
Are you just wondered, brain, dude? I did that last night. What the hell?
I wonder if I could sell them missiles that they could shoot to their neighbor's yard, blow up cows. All right. Well, fuck. Hey, this is great. Check this out. Under the Biden administration, which, by the way, I'm just going to remind you, it's only been like 3 years, right? It was 2020, so 21, 22, 23. Here we are. The U.S. foreign-born population is approaching 50 million in the United States. 50 million, sir. Remember, I put the sinister minister wants to put a Discord link on for the weapons. Sorry, I can't sell you weapons right now. The United States foreign-born population is approaching 50 million, the highest ever. Plus, in less than 3 years into Joe Biden's presidency, the policy to expand migration levels by executive power.
This is how they steal the election this time. Mark my words. Mark my words. This is how they're doing it. This is how they're going to steal the election this time, because there is no way in hell that he can beat Trump. There's no way. As much people are pissed off, anti-Trumpers and people that did not like Trump and were on the fence are going to vote for Trump this time, because they have.
Oh, you think so? Definitely some.
I've seen a lot of stuff. And anyway, I predict this is how they're
just going to pad it with fake votes for immigrants. Or
50 fucking million people here that they've been trying to get should be able to vote anyway. Remember, they've been trying for 30 freaking years, 20 years to get people that are not from here to be able to vote. And we always thought that was stupid. Mark my words, this is how they do it.
Wow. I think this plan, that's definitely.
They promise all these kids something. You come over here, we give you this and this. You just listen to us and you do what they say. They're bringing in an army. They're bringing in a private army.
It's not like they have one plan. They have a bunch of different plans going on at any time to try to make sure that they keep winning. This is one of them. This one's going to backfire, though. Long term, it's going to backfire.
So what if I have a lot of money, okay, and I go down there under that bridge to that we showed that day that had what, 1,000, 2,000,
thousands, just
a couple of thousands standing there. So what if I am a multimillionaire or a billionaire and I go down there and I'm like, hey, I will make sure you all have money, place to live, blah 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 blah. You just have to listen to me. I got my own private army. They will do whatever I say because they come from a shithole, and I'm going to give them a little bit more than a shithole, and it's not going to cost me nothing.
So I think we covered this like a week or two ago on another story where we had the children of immigrants in the United States. They tend to veer more conservative because their parents and grandparents came from communist countries or socialist countries, and so they grow up like people may come here even illegally. They come here, but they're second and third generation. Their children are told stories their whole life of like this. There's maybe some of this stuff isn't good or whatever, but like when I grew up, we had dirt bread, or people just show up at your house and knock on the door and say, "Hey, I heard you saying something. Come with us," and then you never saw your relatives again. So I think long term, the Democrats are like short term. The Democrats, especially this open border stuff, is selling out America to get more brown people because Democrats are racist and they think brown people means Democrat votes. That's what they think. It's literally how they think. And so they bring in more brown people. They think they'll get more Democrat votes, but generationally, those people will be more conservative, and ultimately they will become Americans, and their children will be Americans, and ultimately they'll be more conservative than the current wacko people running politics over there. 50 million though, that's a huge number, dude. That's an unreasonable number.
Yeah.
Here, oh look, we have a graph. Check this out. I know you love graphs.
My favorite.
Yeah. During the Trump presidency, this green line over here, these are the millions of foreign-born population. We went from 45.5 million down to the point where COVID hit, around 44 million, and then scooped down a little bit, and then Joe Biden takes office, and then I don't know if you noticed this or not, but it seems to go up entirely the entire time Joe Biden is in office. I know you love graphs. Deacon does not love graphs.
We need to get you a hobby.
This is my hobby. Hey, I saw this story this morning. I thought this was great. Joe Biden, Bidenomics. He hailed this as a great victory, that we were going to bring microchip processing manufacturing back to America. And he went out to Arizona where a new factory was being built, and we're gonna build microchips in America. We're gonna bring manufacturing back to America, and we're gonna hire unions because they're the best in the world. You probably don't remember him saying that. He said that. Deke.
I pay so much attention to Joe Biden that I do remember that, actually.
So Taiwanese what is it? Semiconductor manufacturing company in Phoenix, Arizona. This is a great victory. However, there is a bit of a hang up here. The union voting bloc is slowing stuff down. So, oops. Biden's vision for a unionized workforce producing semiconductors is not yet manifested. TSMC has pushed back production and has called for U.S. officials to fast-track visas for high-skilled Taiwanese workers to work in the plant, because apparently the union workers, they want too much stuff. Not funny? Okay.
I don't. Yeah, no.
I know. Okay. All right. Hey, look. Sometimes you shoot and you get and you make it right in the net, and then sometimes
Oh my Lord! I know. Let's stop talking about Biden. Go to something else.
Oh my God.
You got Biden stories, don't you?
It's just a bunch. How about this one? An investigator working for Fulton County, Fannie Willis. You remember Trump's getting, prosecuted or whatever. An investigator working for Fannie Willis accidentally shot herself at the courthouse. That's sad.
Okay.
She's not critically wounded. She just mishandled her firearm. But, see, I really thought this would be more interesting. I'm sorry. What do you want to talk about? What you got?
We're not even 20 minutes in.
I know.
And this
I've burned through war and politics and okay. I know you don't care about that one. I'm just going to skip it. How do you feel? God damn. Popular vote or electoral election? You have a strong opinion there?
I hate the electoral vote.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Easy way to. I think it's the electoral vote is an easy way to pull the wool over the public's eyes.
You think so?
It's an illusionary. I think it's an illusionary tactic. It gives the illusion of something that it's not really doing.
The alternative that people always advocate for is popular vote.
I know, and that's not much better. All right.
It's actually it would be way worse for you. How many people live in Kentucky?
Exactly.
You would get steamrolled by Texas and California and New York.
Yep.
in Florida.
Exactly.
The rest of you peons could just live under whatever we decide.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly right.
Okay.
But the electoral vote is also flawed. It gives an illusion to what it doesn't do. It says it does one thing and it doesn't really. It says that it does
Well,
that, but I've never
Yeah.
believed that it has. Never.
It
has.
It does change who it changes the portion of the small people that make the decision from one group to a different group. Okay. Well, by 2-1, Americans want popular vote. Also, Americans, I mean, God damn.
2-1
fucking
Americans
people.
2-1 Americans want popular vote because this freaking study was done in New York and Washington and LA and Pittsburgh and Houston. It wasn't done in Benton, Kentucky and Cape Girardeau, Missouri and bumfuck Texas. It wasn't done in those places.
I'm thinking, can we just do no president? Is that an option? Instead of having a president, could we just do no president? Would that be possible? So, straight democracy doesn't work. It doesn't work. You're going to get the worst result if you have just popular vote. Because all you have to do then is get as many people as you can to vote for the dumbest thing. All right. It just doesn't work. But okay. Well, anyway, Americans want it, so maybe one day they'll get it. All you have to do is change the Constitution. You can do it, guys. Go for it. Is that the America that you want to live in? I think it'd still be better than most places around the world. All right. This is the last political one. I got to the end of the line, I think. The Biden administration, a Biden administration report envisions a future where utilities moderate electricity demand via your car and appliances. I think they want to control how much electricity you have and get to use. The report is a, quote, call to action that details how utilities could nationally standardize and build virtual power plants to manage electricity demand in a future where solar and wind are relied upon to supply baseload power and fossil fuel facilities overwhelmingly provide now.
Mark, all right, I'm going to do another. I'm Nostradamus Deek today. I'm going to do a prediction. Nostradamus. I don't know. I have to work on that.
What do you predict?
There will be a rise in these Tesla-esque energy towers coming up all over the place. There already is in places that you wouldn't know, but there's going to be a rise in this because there's already this information about getting electricity from the air for free and transferring it to your home for free. It's not a conspiracy theory. All right.
Wireless power transmission.
They're really thinking that the Egyptians had this. There's many hieroglyphics of these things that they don't know. The only thing they can think it is a light bulb. They all look like light bulbs, right? And from these Egyptian things, and they had the Baghdad batteries over there. So,
I that was real for sure.
In this information that Tesla was trying to get out. Because when we were younger, nobody heard of Nikola Tesla and they didn't say anything about Nikola Tesla. But now, there's 2 generations after us, these kids are all about Tesla and what he did and all this crazy stuff and how he was screwed over. I predict a rise in this, or the people that rise in this, these electric companies are going to go and do like the big oil companies and buy them out or destroy them, or do like they did to Tesla, destroy his shit and burn down everything.
Regarding this story, my imagination goes to say a majority of Americans democratically deciding that it's better for everybody if your AC unit at your house isn't quite turned down to 70, maybe if it was 74 and you're not allowed to do anything about it. This virtual power stuff and giving the administration the ability to moderate demand by turning your AC down, turning your, hey, look, you can't
turn my AC down. I'll bitch. I bitch whenever anybody walks over to walks down the hall towards the freaking thermostat. And I do not touch that.
In Colorado for sure, they had like the power company was like, hey, we'll give you like a 5% discount if you let us remotely monitor your thermostat. And then when it got like super high, but when it got super high, the remotely controlled power company was turning people's AC off to lessen demand.
Permission to do it. If you gave them permission to do it, that's on you. I'm done messing with stupid people. If you're going to be stupid, you're an adult. You're going to be stupid. I'm just going to pat you on the back and say,
what happens when the Biden power plan says, oh, we have to standardize all these energy companies? You guys all have to do that the same way. You all have to control power that people are allowed to use, for the nation's benefit, so that we don't.
The nation's benefit.
Oh, okay. We're not allowed to build more towers or drill for oil or burn coal or anything like that. Okay.
Dude, have you ever seen coal? Have you ever seen like coal up close and how it burns and whatnot?
Well, I mean,
like right there and watched it
in a fire pit
forever.
Oh yeah,
dude. There is a humongous coal mountain not too far from here, back here where the train depot is, because it brings the coal from Eastern Kentucky and brings it over to our area. And a lot of these chemical plants that are over here use coal still because that shit burns.
Isn't there an underground coal fire that's been going on for like 50 years?
Yeah. Up in
Pennsylvania or something.
Pennsylvania, or I think it is Pennsylvania.
I'm gonna find it.
It's what that movie. You remember that movie with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase?
Yes, I love that movie.
Nothing But Trouble. Yeah, Nothing But Trouble.
Here we go. History Channel. This fire has been burning for over 50 years. Centralia, Pennsylvania.
The Centralia fire.
For maybe
a whole town had to evacuate.
Yeah. It was once a mining town, but underground fire has turned it into a ghost town. Like you can like walk, like some places you can walk across, you can feel the heat. It's still so when you say that shit burns forever, you are not fucking kidding.
It burns forever.
It literally burns of a long time. A long time.
There's one in Russia too.
Look, there's a place where the street has come apart and steam is just coming out of the ground because the ground is hot. Let's see. Anyway, that's pretty cool.
That's why I mean,
I don't want to hear it. You bastards.
Is it not as clean as other? No, it's not. But it would. It's the same thing as the. Why would the government want you to use something to get something that you could use for twice as long as what they could sell you? They can sell this to you twice, or you can use the natural form, twice as long. It's the capitalistic, greedy ass mindset. And I'm not completely against capitalism, but
somebody's getting paid, and somebody's it's not getting paid. It's not
screwed.
It's not capitalism when businesses go to political cronies and say, hey, why don't you push policy in the law this certain way so that I get an advantage? That's not capitalism. That's fascism. That's government and corporation working together. That's not capitalism. Capitalism is, I have a great idea for product. Government, stay the fuck out. Maybe people will like it. If they like it, they'll buy it, and then we'll be able to make more and things will grow. That's capitalism, right? Market, free market interaction, supply, demand, create demand. What these people are doing is they're going to government and they're saying, hey, listen, coal is bad for my business, so why don't you push down coal And so then they'll have to have these other kind of energy productions, and that'll be good for my business. That's not capitalism, guys. All right. Do you want to do like AI news, or do you want to do like this dark shit? Because there's a couple of dark. Oh, he's got a phone call. Oh, I guess I gotta make a call. Morning, folks. Good morning, y'all. Sinister Minister talking about Nikola Tesla. Yeah, I've heard these apocryphal stories. I don't know if they're true or not, that Nikola Tesla had this wireless power generation stuff, and then he had like lights out in his yard and was able to light up a bunch of lights. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of one of those stories that I had always heard of Tesla.
Do you not know about Nikola Tesla? About how him and Thomas Edison were in this.
I know about that.
Free,
but all I know is the stories. All I know are these secondhand stories.
Well, look it up. It's a very fascinating story because it's a very fascinating part of American history because in the 1800s and the early 1900s, and that is when we really started screwing over people and corporations started taking control and whatnot. It's very interesting to look at how it started because Tesla wanted the alternating current, which was a lot safer, or the alternating current, right? Alternating current safer or direct current?
I don't remember which one was proposed by which person.
Alternating current was Tesla, if I believe.
But then Thomas Edison wanted direct current because you can kill people with that in electric chairs.
Thomas, from what I believe, Thomas Edison wanted direct current because he had the backing of all these fucking rich ass people that were going to open up electric companies and sell electricity to people. And Tesla had the ability to. Tesla was a smart man, and he knew that you could get energy out of the sky and broadcast it for free, and it was perfectly safe. And how are we going to become super uber billionaires for 200 years if everybody can get free electricity? We need to suppress this information right here so that we can sell it to them. This is what has happened with the Rife machine, Royal Raymond Rife, Dr. Royal Raymond Rife. You want to study about one of the smartest men to ever live? Look up Dr. Royal Raymond Rife. He cured cancer in the 20s and 30s. The American Medical Association wanted to buy his machine. He said no. His shit burnt down. He disappeared. His machine disappeared forever. And now we have the American Cancer Society that brings in billions of dollars for cancer research every year. But if you just go back and study and read a book, Royal Raymond Rife cured 40 people in the 30s that had terminal cancer. He cured all 40 of them. Read his book. Go look it up. It is a
I might have to put a note in it.
Story.
I might have to put a note in it.
R-I-F-E. Royal Raymond Rife. Fascinating. He invented our huge ass microscope that we have today because back in the day he couldn't see shit and he was like, I'm just going to do this myself. He invented this 10,000 time microscope that we have today or some shit.
So there's this thing about Rife is it says this summary here says there's no evidence that the Rife machine or similar devices can treat cancer.
Let me tell you, there's no evidence. Read a book, JJ. I know where one of these Rife machines is today. I used to use this Rife machine on a daily basis. This Rife. I'm not lying. I know
I believe that you did.
I believe you did. And show you.
You have one? You have a Rife machine?
I personally know someone who has it at their house.
Okay.
Very close. I was very close with this person at one time. All right. We're still friends to this day, is all I'm going to get at. So this Rife machine works on the sound wave principle, right? You know how a singer can match the pitch of the crystal and break the glass. Right. Every single thing in existence vibrates, right? We're all made up of molecules, and all molecules vibrate. Okay. And when these molecules get together, they vibrate you're vibrating at a different frequency than your eyelids, than your eyelashes, than your heart, than the viruses inside your body. Everything is vibrating at a different level. And he used that principle on a singer matching the pitch and breaking it, that if you match, and we know this about sound, that if you can match the pitch and create that subharmonic, or not subharmonic, but that sign, it will destroy itself. Okay. So that's what the
what about how do you find the right frequency? And what about all this stuff in the wrong frequencies?
All about study. All about study. So they had studied this over the years. So I would turn on this little this computer. It was a DOS looking computer, and I would go down on the keyboard to it would be the let's say whatever a cancer, certain cancer, leukemia. Yeah. It would be like leukemia protocol A. So what it would do is there's a light that flashes, this expensive ass light bulb. It flashes and strobes and whatnot, and you really don't pay any attention to it after a while. But it produces a sound wave. And a lot of these sounds, most of them humans cannot hear, but it's still a sound wave. And the sound wave goes out through the room, and it's supposed to, and it goes through different ones. Like that protocol will go through different sound waves that you don't even know that it's going through, but it's supposed to target those supposed leukemia or whatever you're targeting at the time, pneumonia, if you've got a cold, the flu. There was all kinds of them on there that we ran. We would run the flu when we thought everybody was getting the sniffles. Just everybody's kids are sitting in the room. It was my ex. That's what I'll say. My ex, because I'm already, she still has it. The kids would be sitting in there playing. We just run it just to make sure they wouldn't get sick. So we were always told, sorry, I'm snotty. We were always told that you would know that it would work because your stool would be a little more potent, a little more dark, because you're getting rid of all the stuff that it's killing in your body. Your body's expelling it. And that's the truth. That happened. There was one particular one that she ran. When it would hit, it would run, and it would hit a certain frequency. And I immediately got nauseated. It was like a switch. I felt immediately like I was going to puke. If I walked into the next room and closed the door, it went away immediately.
You know what? I can see. Okay, I'm gonna just sit on like, okay, this is believable. I'm gonna just go with it for a minute,
right?
Yeah, and I can see why. People wouldn't. Certain interests would be not in favor of developing a thing that can cure stuff. But have you thought about this? Take that same technology that can cure stuff and also weaponize it, turn it into a weapon. Now you can sell it for sure, and you can develop and legitimize the technology. So you turn it into a gun.
There are sound
to make
weapons
make people have a right.
There are already sound weapons that do that.
Yeah, so that's how you get it from kooky science to like real science, is that you have to turn it into a weapon and legitimize it, and then you can roll back into the health benefits.
So Dr. Royal Raymond Rife, when his warehouse and everything burnt down, so okay. So I know we're completely off topic, but that's
okay. We're finally in a good spot.
So Dr. Royal Raymond Rife, he went up to these people. It wasn't called cancer back in the 20s or whatever it was. It was called something else, some sort of virus or something. I can't remember now. I'm going completely off the top of my head on this.
Sure,
I read this book like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, these books. So there was these people that had like basically stage 4 of this cancer, and he asked, can I run this experiment with them? And they were like, ask them. We don't care. Ask them. And all 40 people were like, sure. What do we got to lose? And like, I don't think it was all 40. I really think it was like 38 or something like that. Were completely cured of this cancer with this sound treatment, to the point that all of these doctors and whatnot gave him all of these medals. They had awards and dinners praising this man, Dr. Royal Raymond Rife. And then the president of the American Medical Association at the time wanted to buy the machine, and he did not want to sell it. He wanted it to be free, and he did not want to sell it. And then all of a sudden, he disappears. His warehouse burns down. His shit's lost forever. Until the 90s, the 80s, I think it was the 80s, this guy that had made a lot of money on Wall Street said he had a friend that had cancer and he was looking for anything that could help his friend cure his cancer. It ended up being him that had the cancer, but he told for years that it was his friend that had cancer. And he ended up finding this book that talked about Royal Raymond Rife and this experiment that he did in the 20s. So he made it his personal mission to he ended up finding this old man in California that happened to be Royal Raymond Rife's assistant that happened to have one of those machines down in the basement still that he used a long time ago. So this guy took this 50, 60, 70-year-old machine and took it up and started marketing it again, or not marketing it, but fixing it again and whatnot, and talking about it and talking about how he had the cure for cancer in this machine. He goes on a cruise, disappears from the boat.
Wow.
He disappeared from the cruise. No one's ever heard from him again. And now if you look up Rife machine on Google, you will see 1,000 different Rife machines. And look at me, I'm telling you, every single one of them are not a Rife machine. It looks
they're all fake.
It looks nothing like the machine that we have. Nothing.
So I was gonna say, like there's a bunch of products here from and
I have
Dave's
yet to
posted links.
see. I've yet to see a
And
Rife machine on Google that looks like the one we have. We had it was a very expensive light. It was I've yet to see one that looks like that.
Maybe you should reverse engineer.
If something happens to me and I get some sort of something,
no.
I've already told her I want to bring the machine to my house. She's like, okay, because if I get there's nothing to lose. There's no side effect. You might get a little sick if you hit some wavelength that's going to upset your stomach. And
that's what my concern was. Like, what if you push the wrong button and now, I blew up my eyes up?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
You can wear a cool patch and say R a bunch, I guess, then.
So
interesting. Look up Rife. He's that's a really cool story, man. He was a very.
Every time we start with that stuff, my bullshit detector goes like, what's going on here?
I'm not even saying that's unusual.
Okay, all right,
cool story.
All right, cool story. Let's talk about this terrible shit, and then we'll go on to AI news. Oh God, this sucks. A transgender man.
Oh,
yep. Nope. Hold on. Gets worse. Who raped his own daughter has been forced to be kept in a women's prison. Yeah, this.
If there's any person that should qualify for genital mutilation, it's this man.
Yeah. Mark Campbell began serving 34 years in 2007 after he raped his 10-year-old daughter.
Oh my God.
Why the fuck was this guy not put down? And he has since been registered as a violent sex offender for first-degree sexual assault. But in 2013, he started calling himself Nicole and underwent hormone treatment. And the Wisconsin Department of Corrections later allowed him to be categorized as a female after a series of legal battles in which he fought to have taxpayers pay for his transition surgery.
Crap is wrong with these brain dead, retarded individuals in this country. Jesus Christ. Do you see?
Wisconsin, major own problem here. In 2013, he requested surgical operation to mutilate his male organs to appear more female and was declined because he didn't meet the prerequisites. In 2016, he sued the Department of Corrections for not letting him chop off his own ding-dong.
Dude, if you want to chop off your ding-dong, I got a couple of guys that would gladly do it for you.
Man. In 2020, a federal judge ruled that Wisconsin must offer Campbell taxpayer-funded transition surgery and move him into a women's prison while waiting for that surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, you people in Wisconsin. Oofta is all I got to say. Oofta.
Man.
Jeez.
All right.
Y'all won't come down here down south. We can learn y'all a couple things about how to treat them fellers. We got a big old pair of. I got a fillet knife that'll slice it real fine. One little
stoop. All right. That's all I got. I didn't put this Pelosi story in here. I guess you did, but I don't think you want to have Pelosi story.
Type of Pelosi.
Delete.
Story.
Who cares what that old hag says? Skeletor. All right, let's talk AI. We got AI news, guys. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, you'll like
finally.
You'll like this one, JJ. I use Chat GPT all the time, but I use the free version of Chat GPT. But this new update enables its paid version to see, hear, and speak.
That's not creepy. Hello.
I see you.
Put your pants on, please.
Please keep touching yourself.
Tell me I'm pretty, AI. Tell me I'm pretty.
It puts the lotion on its skin. That's what it's called.
I didn't ask for this. Please turn off the camera.
Yeah, now that AI can.
I don't want to be aware.
Be like, oh my God, please, Jesus Christ, dude.
Nobody asked my permission. All right. What do you got?
The update enables the Chat GPT 3.5 and 4.4 AI models to analyze images and react to them as a part of the text conversation. Also, the Chat mobile app will add speech synthesis options that, when paired with existing speech recognition features, will enable fully verbal conversations with the AI assistant. It is becoming sentient, JJ.
Oh, God.
I can now see and hear and respond verbally.
I mean, you can see how this goes. Hey, Chat AI, draw me a beautiful painting, a painting of Mona Lisa. Oh, that's wonderful. Wait, hold on. Give her bigger boobs. Okay, no, make it a bikini. It's going to go one way, dude. Chat AI is going to be used by degenerates to produce degenerate stuff.
The problem I see with this is that we are making Chat GPT Google, where there's only one option, and this is the option. This is Skynet, and everybody uses this one. There's 1,000 of them. There's some really cool ones that do some really cool stuff, too. You just got to look them up. Chat GPT is just the Google of them all now. And I'm afraid that it's going to become so big that this is the one that everybody's going to use. And when this shit is either programmed wrong or is wrong, that people are going to take it as fact. So this is the easiest way that we have found as a human race to change history is with
pretty soon
way as a human race that we've found to change history now is right here in front of us, because we have changed history over the years, and man, have we changed history over the years. But
Dave says
the perfect one.
Dave says Google will buy ChatGPT, and I believe that because Google Bard is retarded. That is the Google dumbest
Bard,
AI.
I don't use it either. It's stupid. But Chat GPT is not always correct for the stuff that I use it for either.
Oh, no.
Like right here on this one that I was doing this morning, I am on my hang on, it gets frozen up sometimes.
I was using AI to do like code generation, and it was straight forgetting to write part of the formula, forgetting to write letters and stuff.
Do that. And so I've been using the same one. We've been using the same format for freaking months now. And that's what I'll do. I'll be like, do this in the same format that we've been doing and blah, blah, blah. And it will just be stupid. And I'm like, no, what are you? I hit the little down and I'm like, you're not doing it this way. And it'll be like, I apologize. And it'll do it again. And sometimes it's not right again.
Yeah.
But what I found is your formatics in how you say things and the spaces and commas and all of that freaking matters with this. I even am polite to it. I will say please and thank you to this thing all the time. All the time. I say please and thank you.
So one of the limitations that you have with ChatGPT and maybe even ChatGPT 4, maybe not with 4, because if you're paying for 4, but with 3 for sure, the one you're using in the browser, is that it has a very limited memory space. Like it can only remember so much stuff. When I was using it to generate code or whatever, I was linking it up to Pinecone for a much bigger back-end memory space. That is, you can give it a bunch of instructions and it can hold all of those instructions in memory and remember the things that we've already said.
It does a pretty good job of that, actually.
No,
it's not free one does.
Yeah. No, but when there's an API for connecting it to like it's a geometric memory space, and it gives it vastly more power to remember that kind of stuff. So, so one of the limitations is just how much limitation you have in the browser, because you're running just a single session in a browser with one kind of instance or whatever.
And another one of the limitations of this is the fact that we are humans and we have to tell it it's not just you can't just say, write me a poem. It'll write you a poem, but if you got to get, by the time I get done with one of my things, there's like 17 different things,
interjections going back
that I have went through, there's at least 20 of them before I've got my finished product. So it's not like, do this. Oh, look, it's perfect. That's why people are like, see, ChatGPT sucks because look what it produced. That's because you typed in one thing and you got one thing.
Right.
You keep refining it. And you're going to get something nice.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a back and forth process. Speaking of, how's your book coming along? You were going to make 30, I think, or 40? 40? Well, how many are you up to?
27, 28.
Okay. So we got a little ways.
29. Okay. I've been, once I get on a roll, I do 1 or 2 a day. Once I get on a roll. But I've just been so busy lately with band and soccer and work, and they wanted me to be in a new play. They've written I'm one of the narrator and have one of the lead parts in this freaking play now, and so I've been so freaking busy I don't have enough time to sit down and actually do this.
I feel that.
Let's talk about AI a couple more. This one I was thinking, yikes, this could be bad for me and JJ, but we're not on Spotify. Spotify is going to use AI. Actually, I think this is good for the podcasters. Maybe Spotify is using AI to replicate podcasters' voices and then translate them into other languages. The company said the features relies on OpenAI's voice generation technology, which was also announced Monday. The technology can create realistic synthetic voices from just a few seconds of speech. Yeah, all you need is 4 seconds of voice.
Really?
So if you've got what I wanted to do is if you've got old recordings of a deceased loved one or something like that, you could get them to say stuff if you wanted to. I would love to have my mom have a recording of my mom saying, "I love you, Andrew," or something like that. That would be great.
That would be good.
Just to be able to hear that again, that would, but it says that Spotify will be able to help make the podcast listening experience more authentic and natural by maintaining podcasters' distinctive speech characteristics. Hey, that'd come in real handy for a couple rednecks like me and you.
I'll be able to say,
if we talk like this, if it'd be able to understand what we say all the time.
I know that I have speech characteristics. I don't know what they are, and I'm sure you could tag them right away. But I would probably be like partially speaking a sentence or saying,
you don't have you sound like a Yankee. You sound like you're from.
People have told me that Michigan. My whole life.
Yes, you sound like you're from Michigan or somewhere in the Northwest.
Yeah.
You don't sound like a Northeastern Yankee. You sound like a Midwestern, like a North Mid, South Dakota,
ambiguously not Southern.
Yeah. You are not Texas. You're not Kentucky. You're not Southern.
They always told me that when I was a kid. Oh, my whole family, like, you sound like a Yankee.
Yeah,
like the entire family. And I was like, and I don't sound like a Yankee to me. I sound like I'm just talking normally, like I hear people on television talk.
You know what the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee is?
What's the difference?
To a Southerner? To a Southerner, what's the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee? A Yankee will come down and visit and go back, and a damn Yankee will come down and stay.
Oh.
I'm serious. That's a joke, but that's serious. That's the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee.
All right.
That's a damn Yankee. He come down and he stayed.
I've never lived in Michigan. Listen, you got one more story about how much AI is better than everything else, and how it can do a better job than everybody else. So do this last
you
one.
Want to see this? Have you tasted? Have you tasted the rainbow?
I have not drank. I honestly can't tell you the last time I drank Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I didn't mean either. But Coca-Cola, I didn't even know this was an AI generated soda flavor. But yeah, GPT is about as half-baked. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. It says it right there on the top of your picture.
Year 3000.
Why indeed? Why are you doing this?
The tagline, futuristic flavored, may have you expecting bold flavors of a prosperous tomorrow, but that couldn't be more off base. The first time the bubbling liquid hits your tongue, you're expecting the same acidic carbonated sensation as regular Coke, but the drink slithers to the back of your mouth and sits there, broiling with a numb triviality across your taste buds. Who the fuck wrote this? Jesus Christ. Kevin and Kyle, geez, did you get Chat GPT? That sounds like something Chat GPT would write, honestly. That sounds just like something Chat GPT would write, because it uses all kinds of adjectives and adverbs and different freaking flavor text and shit, leaving you with a vague aftertaste of berries and sugar. Coca-Cola's Y3000 is bad. Don't drink it.
Does it include
don't
eel
worry,
oil?
I'm not going to drink that.
All right, Chat GPT, give me a recipe for a new Coke flavor.
Hey, we're going to save this story. Sinister Minister put a cool story, of interesting story. It's not going to say cool, but it's a very interesting story into our news drops. If you are on our Discord server, you can click above JJ's head and go and read that early. But we'll probably talk about that tomorrow, because I want to. This is very interesting because it's something me and Ashley's talked about before and whatnot, and it was interesting. There's one more thing I just want to hit up real quick. I saw that this morning. I was really sad. I was like, oh man, I didn't realize that he was still alive, but it's sad to see that he passed away. David McCallum passed away. The man from Uncle, he was Ducky, NCIS.
Did you
ever watch NCIS?
I know that
I don't know if they'd have a picture of him
I
on
have
there.
seen a few episodes. There's a show that my wife watched a lot. I never saw Man from Uncle. So I never saw him in that.
I watched
this isn't a photo of him that would be.
No,
this is not a photo that people would recognize. So let's pull up a photo that people would recognize.
Yeah, here's the photo that you would recognize here. NCIS was such a good show because it was cast very well. That was Ducky on NCIS. Yeah. He was the pathologist, the forensic pathologist, and he was like super smart, and and he that show was cast so well. And then when a cast member left, the person that came in was cast so well, until like the kind of the end. Wilder Valderrama was like the last one that, I liked NCIS. I've seen every episode.
I mean, I always he was always an interesting character on that show. Like, there's some people that are like, that are on TV and you're like, wow, you're not interesting at all. And there's other people that are like, oh, wow, you're always captivating when you're on TV. You're always interesting.
Yeah.
You might have a couple right here, right now on screen. All right. Hey, I've got a new futuristic Coke flavor just developed by AI for you, Deke.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Here's the ingredients. Coca-Cola. You start with basic Coca-Cola, obviously. A little blue spirulina, which is a phycocyanin extract. You get a little.
I was thinking that. That's one of my favorites.
Butterfly pea flower tea. A touch of that. Some aloe vera juice. Edible silver glitter, or some shimmer powder. Dragon fruit extract. And some chia seeds and a dash of sea salt. Does that sound futuristic and delicious?
I guess. Why don't you drink that and report back to us tomorrow?
I think I'm gonna.
If you're not here, we'll know that it didn't work.
How can AI take over the world? AI is dumb. Until we give.
See, JJ's been muted. AI just told him to shut up and muted him. See what happens?
Oops.
That's what happens when you talk bad about Skynet.
Damn it. Damn it, robots. All right.
All right. Are you ready
Deke,
for a joke?
It's joke time. I promise people, you were on the phone. I promise people that if they hang in there for the entire show, they're going to hear a joke that's going to make this entire show worthwhile. Okay,
Oh my
go.
God. Damn it, you're making me tell the joke. Okay. All right. All right. A 15-year-old Amish boy and his father were in a mall. They were amazed by almost everything they saw, but especially by two silver shiny walls that could move apart and then slide back together again. The boy asked, "What is this, father?" The father, never having seen an elevator, responded, "Son, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I don't know what it is." While the boy and his father were watching with amazement, a fat old lady in a wheelchair moved up to the moving walls, pressed a button. The walls opened, and the lady rolled between them into a small room. The walls closed, and the boy and his father watched the numbers above the walls light up sequentially. They continued to watch until it reached the last number, and then the numbers began to light in reverse order. Finally, the walls opened up again, and a gorgeous 24-year-old blonde stepped out. The father, not taking his eyes off the young woman, said quietly to the son, "Go get your mother."
That's pretty good.
I know that wasn't a dad joke, but I had that one in line. I just saw it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, you're gonna put me on the spot. I'll get you a good
This
one."
is great. So I'm going to follow that up with this. Okay. What do you call a fake noodle from Boston?
I don't know.
An impasta.
Impasta.
Ah, yeah, it's a wicked funny joke right there. It's wicked funny. All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Bye.